Yo, what's poppin'? It's your man, Dean Edwards. Welcome to another episode of the Futhamuckin Protocol, man. I'm laughing because sometimes the real world kicks in and the phone rings, so we gonna bring the music in once again right about now, son. Yo, we back in the All Things Comedy studio, man, out here on the West Coast. The West Coast, as they say, West Coast is the best coast, but I'm from the East, where's the beast, so it's all good, it's all gravy, baby. Yo, and y'all know, as always, make sure you subscribe to the podcast on All Things Comedy. Follow, like, comment, the Futhamuckin Protocol. Big up All Things Comedy, the network. Big up all the shows on All Things Comedy. Check out some of the fabulous ones, like Dean Del Rey's Let There Be Talk, man. And also you got Ian Edwards' Sucker Comic Rant. But bigger than all that, son, gotta big up this podcast, which you're gonna catch pretty much part two of this conversation, hosted by none other than my man sitting to the right, the man with the plan. My man Felipe Esparza hosts the brilliant What's Up, Fool? Is it what's or what?
What's up?
It's what's up. What's up, fool? And I got my man Felipe right here, my brother from another mother. Felipe, what's poppin', man? How you doing?
What's up, fool?
Chilling, man. Chilling. We've been trying to make this happen. It's been like a year. Because I remember when you had John Sally up on your joint, and we saw each other, because Felipe, obviously, like I said, he records for All Things Comedy as well, and he usually records on Wednesdays at noon. Yeah, Wednesdays at noon. And anytime I'm in LA, I usually, you know what's funny? I always ask, do you guys have available? And Aaron's like, we have 10 o'clock. Nobody else wants to come in at this hour, Dean, but I'm a morning person, and so when I found out I was going to be here, it just so happened you happened to reach out at the same time. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I can do, you can do mine, and then I can do yours. And tell the people that are listening, all the fam, we have like family out here, so all the fam, tell them what they can expect when they listen to What's Up, Fool.
What's Up, Fool is my podcast. It's raw, it's real, it's about recovery. Mm-hmm. We talk about recovery. Okay. Not usually just recovery, but somehow it's leading on to recovery. Okay. And a lot of drug addicts listen to our show, non-drug addicts, people that are trying to stop doing drugs, people that are trying to find a way to just get away from doing drugs and, trying to find a hobby. Okay. So we get a lot of people who just finished stop doing drugs. Right. And then they listen to our podcast, they listen to my stories, and they click on it. It don't matter if they're white, black, Asian. We got people in Ireland. Right. And we just got a letter from a guy in Utah, Mormon. Wow. And it's funny, he starts with a letter. First of all, man, he goes, I'm one of those white guys you talk about, the privilege, German, French. I'm white. Right. He's white. I saw his photo. Right.
When you say Utah, I was like, I automatically decided, even if he wasn't white, I was like, hey, he's white.
Well, it could be Samoan too. A lot of Samoans in Utah. A lot of Fijians.
Right.
And he wrote a long letter how he's gay, and he struggled with being gay for all his life, and did a lot of drugs. Trying to hide the feeling. Okay. A lot of drugs, and one day he was like feeling like doing drugs again, but he's gay, and I just for some reason just opened your podcast. And I started listening, and I binged all of them. Wow! And he wanted to thank me for staying sober and being nice. Dude, he said my stories helped him because, and then he was telling me that somebody in his family died, and then he felt like doing drugs again. And he said that, but one of your guests on your show was talking about it, how, because I'm a crackhead, bro. I just do a lot of crack, and every time I try like stopping, I always found a way to find an excuse to go back to justify what. Well, that what this guy was going through. He said, I think one of his parents or his best friend died, and he figured, well, that's a good excuse to go get high. Right.
I need this to comfort myself in this time of mourning.
Yeah, so I always found like an excuse to get high. Like, oh, the Dodgers won. Well, let's just do a little bump.
Right. But isn't that how addiction sort of wins, and why addiction is so hard, because it's so easy to find an excuse, to make an excuse and lapse back or slip back into that dark hole.
Yeah, and also like if you never saw your parents make up, your parents always they would fight, but you never saw them make up.
Right.
They never showed us making up.
You only saw the negative
fighting.
versus the positive.
Yeah,
right.
And they never said I'm sorry in front of us.
Right.
They never got it all together and said, listen, man, me and your mom were fighting. Even if you would have said, well, she was acting a fool, I was acting a fool, but no one has ever brought, like, a lot of people fight and they don't bring their kids in a meeting or let them know what happened. So their kids go on thinking that, okay, you just fight and then somehow it gets better some way.
Right.
But we don't know that they made up. So that was my thing. I would fight with somebody, with a girl or somebody, and then just stop being their friend.
Right.
Forever.
Oh, wow. Because now is this in the midst of your addiction? This is right, like smack dab in the midst of your addiction. So at what point did you realize, because I think that's very important, that especially being a parent, once you become a parent, you sort of think of all the things that you did that weren't done in front of you. Like, say for instance, if you were young and you saw your parents argue, and they still wound up together, so there was a makeup, but you didn't see them make up. In your mind, that's automatically you're planning like, all right, well, maybe they're just together because we're here, because the kids are here. But if we weren't here, because then your mind is allowed to wander.
Yeah. You never have closure.
There's no closure. And so when in your life did you realize, oh, you know what, I'm going about this the wrong way. Instead of me cutting people off, let's have a conversation and maybe find resolution.
I had no idea.
Really? Did it
just happen all of a sudden? Like, all of a sudden, something in my head said, wait. I can't let this person walk away.
Well, okay.
It was my fault.
Okay.
So then I just called up back and said, man, I know it was my fault. I'm sorry.
Right.
Don't go.
Was it in the midst of were you still in addiction, or were you in sobriety?
Oh, sobriety.
Okay, so sobriety helped offer clarity, which is beautiful. And was that person someone that you like? Because I'm imagining that it's someone you had to care about them enough to say, you know what, I'm tripping. There's something in me that's telling me I can't let this person walk out of my life.
Yeah.
What did it? Was it your wife? Did it turn?
I think it was my wife and other people, because I've been with my wife 10 years.
Okay. Shout out to your wife, lovely late.
Yeah, we're married now. Yeah. We're together, I think, 8.
Okay.
And I do a bit about it now, because I know, like, I thought I never. You don't notice it when you're with somebody that long that you're not married to them, because in your head you're married to them.
Right.
You start saying, "This is my wife right here."
Let me tell you, same way my wife and I've been together forever. Like we were together so long that
Well, we married already, baby.
Yeah,
Under
I'm like,
God's eyes.
That's wifey, right. That's how dudes get over nowadays.
Right?
If you,
I wifed her up, dog.
That's how wifed up. That's wifey right there. And women are like, okay, but a married dude like yourself, myself, we like, nah, son, that's the slickest angle out. He was like, oh, he called the wife, and she like, oh, he called me wifey. I'm like, yeah, but ain't no ring.
There's no commitment.
Ain't no commitment.
Just put your bone out anytime he wants.
He got like 7 other wifeys. He got a harem full of wives.
Got wives everywhere.
That's hilarious. So she's been in your corner for a long time.
Yeah, man. You start getting pressure from the family. Hey, Dad, you gonna marry mom or what?
Oh, dig it. Okay, from the family, that is. When your kids are like, "Come on, son," your kids sitting around like, "Hey, yo, pops, I know you called the wife because I got a different last name from my mom's. It makes it confusing at the PTA meeting. So can you make something happen?" That's funny. That's funny, son. So I like to get people's story. And for those of y'all that don't know, Felipe and I think the first time we worked together was it Comics Unleashed? Comics Without Borders?
Comics Without Borders with Russell Peters.
Russell Peters. Funny guy. Yeah, I remember we met. That was where did we shoot that at? The
El Del Rey.
El Del Rey.
It was me, you, a bunch of comedians.
Yeah.
Eric Andre was in it.
Eric Andre, Mike, Big Smile. Damn.
Big Smile.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, Mike E. Winfield.
Mikey Winfield, yes.
Mike E. Winfield. I think Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Oh
yeah, that was a Coming Without Borders, right?
Yeah,
I met Ahmed, Sam Tripoli,
yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah, man.
Shane Moss, I think.
Yeah, Moss did
He barely knew who he was.
Right.
Yeah, so who's this young kid?
Well, you know what was funny about that taping? I always likened it to pretty much like most sort of all-star showcases. And what was different about this, for those that don't know, Comics Without Borders, it aired on Showtime networks here in the U.S. and I think it's available on Netflix and whatnot. But what was dope was they set it up where they put a headliner and a feature. So the feature would do, I think, like 10 minutes, and the headliner would do like 20 minutes. And,
20.
Yeah, and then they also did like a little interview segment that they would bump into prior to your set. So what I enjoyed about that was it reminded me of Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee, where you had the best of the best, like kung fu movies where you had this one cat and his style might be praying mantis and another dude's like Tiger Crane style, and everybody came together and was like, all right, well, you gonna rock out, I'm gonna rock out, and let's see who comes with it, and it was a dope experience, and connected cats like myself and yourself, but also I had known Russell and I knew each other from like the early 90s when we were both starting out. So
really?
Yeah, man. Up in Russell was from Toronto, and I started out in Rochester.
His listeners are saying no, he's from Bramford.
Right. That's hilarious. And so we used to do we would do shows together up there. So it's always dope when you it's nice just when you see people, like you just mentioned a bunch of cats. It's nice that we're all still out here.
Yeah,
all still
and I've also I met Eric Andre on that show, at that I met him at the Russell some other show I think I did.
Oh, okay.
And he remembered me. He goes, Felipe, you look like my drug dealer back in New York. And I said, cool. So he ended up being on the Eric Andre show.
Yeah.
And then he had me on the show like 4 times.
Oh, that's dope.
As it was episode when Hannibal Buress said, "Well, I have a co-host too now," but he is a host.
Right.
He can't have a co-host. Can't have a co-host.
Co-host. Right.
Yeah. So here's my host, and then Felipe Esparza, and I come out with no T-shirt.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, you want Tracy Morgan style? No shirt is not a party till you come in without a shirt.
I worked with Tracy Morgan finally.
Oh, did you wear like stand up
big show in Manhattan?
I'm trying to think. Was it Toyota Comedy Festival?
No, I don't know what it was.
Oh no, you did Hot 97.
Yes.
April Fool's Comedy Jam.
Yes.
Which is perfect because your podcast, What Up, Fools? So the April Fool's Comedy. I remember when you were there.
A big show, man.
Yeah,
it
at
was
the Garden.
Ricky Smiley, Tracy Morgan, D. Ray Davis,
was it the Wayans
Tony
brothers?
Woodsy,
Shawty,
and some other chick named Roxanne or Roxette.
Jeez,
she had a podcast. She's a black woman.
Oh, was Marina?
Roxy?
Not Marina.
No.
I don't know who that is.
And then Tracy Morgan, I told her my name a bunch of times. What's your name? It was Felipe Esparza.
Yo, give me your name one more time. I know it. I just want to make sure I pronounce it correctly.
That's what he said. Then when he brought me up on stage, he didn't even. He said my name with no consonants.
No.
So like Felipe Esparza.
Give it up, Felipe Esparza.
Something like that. And then the crowd was like, "Who the fuck?" Then I said, "I'll give it up for Kevin Hart, ladies and gentlemen." Man, he was doing windmills backstage laughing.
That's hilarious.
That's
hilarious right there.
You see, man, he looked at me and goes, "Yeah, man, see, this guy gonna make it, man."
Yeah, he got a spark in his eye.
That's what he said.
He got a spark in his eyes.
He got tools.
He got tools. He knows how to fly without a net. Sometimes you gotta fly without that net. You know. I didn't know his name. I tried rehearsing it a couple times. He knew I was gonna mess it up. I didn't mean it. It wasn't personal. I love you. I love you, Felipe. I know how to say it. I know how to say it now because you earned my respect.
Yeah, that's what he said.
You earned my respect. Yeah, Tracy enough. But yeah, that's how you knew a party was was when Tracy. So now I got to go find those episodes of Eric Andre's show, man, because that show was weird. I remember watching. I was like, this is way left. But you know what I also dug about that show was Hannibal, and because I remember Hannibal and Andre and Eric when they both was still sort of like just like newer cats in New York, and I love that. Like when one is on, the other pulls the other in. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Reciprocity. When I get on, I'm gonna put my mans on, and vice versa. Which I know you do with your peoples. Which is cool. I wanna take it back to the beginning. So where you from?
Who?
You.
Oh, L.A.
L.A. Okay.
Boyle Heights.
Okay.
The capital of East Los Angeles.
East L.A. La Raza.
Yeah, man. But I was born in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Snuck in fair and square.
Okay. So Trump, if he wins, he's coming for you.
No, he's not coming for me, man. I'm legal.
All right, boom.
He's coming for people who are not legal.
Okay. Now he's coming for.
I don't understand how like somebody could be living this long, 15 years, 20 years, and never got your shit together, man.
Right. There's a point where you're supposed to say.
Somewhere along the way, man, you kids can't be like, hey, we got to get married sooner or later. You know what I mean? We got to get married to this country sooner or later. Right. You can't be America's side chick forever, hiding in corners. Every time the America's main man shows up, we got to go hide somewhere.
Right.
I mean, you gotta, like, I don't know, man. My parents, we came here in the late 70s.
Late 70s, okay.
And then we got our green cards in 84.
Okay, so it didn't take you too long to start working towards.
Yeah, but we had a plan. My dad already had family here already set up.
Got you.
Man, it's hard when you come to a new country and you don't know nobody.
Oh, bro.
Nobody. You're a refugee.
Yeah, yes, you are.
You're a Syrian refugee.
Right. Did your parents speak English?
Hell no, they still don't speak English.
Hold on. They didn't speak English, but they wanted you to learn it, so you were their translator?
Yeah.
Dig it.
That's my new special going to be called Felipe Translate This.
For real? Oh, that's hilarious. That's funny. I'm psychic too.
My parents don't it's funny. My dad he's been in the America long enough where he could just take his U.S. citizen test in Spanish.
Oh wow!
I didn't even know you could do that. See, my dad found a loophole.
Yeah.
You could take your the U.S. citizen test in any language you want.
I didn't know that.
If you're Chinese and you've been here 30 years and you want to take it in Chinese, yeah.
Wow. Because we welcome everyone.
Yeah, so my dad was like studying his test, all in Spanish. What colors is a flag? Azul, blanca, y roja.
Nice.
Who was the first president? Pues Jorge Washington.
Jorge. That's funny. I'm sorry. Good.
Yeah, man. He took it in Spanish and he's citizen. He was, I got to keep my rights.
Yeah.
He votes. My mom votes. My mom's American citizen. I'm not yet. I got married. I thought I was going to just be a shoo-in. Once you marry a white woman, you become automatically. Right. But now you still got to take a test.
Yeah. No, they want you to commit. You got to commit.
They're going to check your background.
Yeah.
Make sure you're all legit.
Yeah. Did you ever, that's funny. But I'll come back to that. So you grew up East LA. Was it a challenge being, the parents or the child of immigrants that didn't speak the language, or were all of your neighbors speaking Espanol as well, and therefore it wasn't really a challenge until you went out into the American, like the school system?
I got here when I was like 5 or 6.
Okay.
So I picked up English right away.
Okay.
I guess because I was young, and there was no all my classes were in English. There was no English as a second language. So everything I was taught was in English.
Got you.
I was never like pulled to the side and somebody translated for me.
Oh, that's good.
We all learned the same A, B, C.
Right. Okay.
So we were all learning at the same level. But now it's different because now they have English as a second language class. So they have a special class for special needs, people who don't speak English. I think that slows things down.
I was gonna say, do you agree with that, or you?
No.
Yeah, especially because you came up in an era where they were just like you're thrown into the
you're in a class where everybody speaks English. Sooner or later, one of the students is gonna help you.
Right.
It always happens. Like another kid will take you on his wing. Listen, Paco. This is the way you say this.
Okay.
It's lying, not belying.
Right. So that's interesting that you say it, because I feel the same way. I'm like, instead of, I don't like using, not necessarily dumbing down, but raise up, like, because you're going to be forced to step your game up. You were forced to step your game up, also based on not just the situation at hand, but also I'm sure there was being a child. You're like, I don't want to be embarrassed. You have the pressure of, you don't want to be the one that sticks out as not being able to communicate in English like everybody else. So that made you work harder, versus saying, oh, well, everybody else is speaking English as a second language, so I'm not really pressed to have to,
So whenever my mom and I talk now, I'm speaking English, and she's answering in Spanish and asking me questions in Spanish, and I'm answering in English.
That's interesting.
But she don't speak English to me. She speaks it all in Spanish, but I'm speaking English. Like, Mom, how was your day? Oh, mi día fue bien. Fui a la tienda, fui para allá. Mira esto, mira eso. Oh, who was there with you? Oh, estaba Rosa, Lupe. Did you have a good time? Sí. And they were having a conversation like that.
But she understands.
She understands everything I'm saying.
Okay.
But I can't find the right words in Spanish to say. I could speak in English, but I can also speak in Spanish. But I don't know I don't know the big Spanish words. Like, of course, like comprehend is easy, comprende.
Comprende.
But there's other words I don't know. Like,
I'm proud I knew that one.
Some I don't know, man. I'll just go, tú sabes,
That's hilarious. So you're growing up in what? East LA was like a notorious neighborhood, because in New York, we knew about East LA. East, like, same way Wu-Tang Clan was not to be effed with, like East LA, you didn't go and mess around. So it was a rough neighborhood?
Yeah, it was rough, man. Well, I grew up in Boyle Heights. That's like the suburb, the inner city before you get to East LA. Like, once you leave downtown LA going east, Boyle Heights is the first neighborhood. And then when you get to Indiana, which is 4 miles away, that's East Los Angeles.
Ah, okay.
East Los Angeles has more houses than Boyle Heights. We're in the flats.
Okay.
So we're mainly by, like, it would be considered, like, from New York, the shittiest neighborhood next to the Battery, when the Battery was in shit.
Okay. That makes, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, because a lot of industrial areas in that area, right?
Yeah.
That's where I grew up. All industrial, all factories, people going in and out of work all the time. So it was good growing up where I lived, because there was a lot of factories outside, out of our neighborhood, we could go break into.
Okay.
Not really work.
Like such a kid.
Not really work, because the last generation before us fucked that up for us.
In what way?
Because they used to get work there, and then they'll fuck up, and then come back and rob. So then in all these warehouses, they knew our zip code, they knew our addresses. So once they knew our street numbers. So once somebody from, just say, this guy wants to work here, but he lives on 1634 East 5th Street. Then he looks at the numbers, it's 1634 to 33,000. Okay, those are the housing projects. So just throw the application away.
Oh, wow. So it bit them in the head.
Yeah.
I dig it.
So we couldn't get no jobs there ever.
Damn.
So a lot of the older homies that were older than me, I was 12, 14, those guys were 19, 25. They would hang out, like, at this truck stop, like day laborers. And they'll just hang there all night, all morning, and then, like, a truck will pull in and go, yeah, man, I'm going to need 4 guys to unload this truck. And then my friends will go in there, unload it, saran wrap it, put it on pallets, and then the guy will give them some money.
Right.
Then these guys will go back to the neighborhood and spend it on drugs.
I dig it. Wow. Ain't that something? That's the circle of life.
That was like the loser job. Like, oh, man, fuck that. I don't want to go work in the trucks.
Right. Because I still see day laborers in Brooklyn. Like it's funny because you see a lot more immigrants now. Like if you go back even just a decade, you didn't see it as prevalent as you do now, which always amazes me when I hear people complain about go back to your country. I'm like, y'all ain't working those jobs, like, you know what I mean? Like because I'm especially as a veteran, I understand fighting and defending the country and the rights of the American citizens, but I'm like, the promise. I also know that the system is set up to not let certain people get in. It's harder for certain immigrants to come to the states legally. So that's not. I don't want letters. I don't want anybody listening sending me a message. Oh, so you're saying people should just come in illegally? I'm not saying that, but the people that are here illegally, it's not like they're like, I'm in America now, I made it, and just laying around. They're actually working, like trying to work or working, to make life better and become citizens, at least from afar looking in, from outside looking in, from our perspective, that's how it looks. Do people write based on your podcast and hit you with like, yeah, man, I don't like what you said?
No, we don't.
Oh, okay, that's good. I've had comments. I haven't really had any negative comments. I've had like there are a couple of cats that listen that will catch if I caught something or a fact that was like off, or even like some reference, and they're good about that. But fortunately, the fam that listens, they don't get too harsh with me.
I wish they would. Then that way I know they subscribe.
That's true. Yeah. Hey, that they're paying attention, right?
We get a couple of people. Like there's a guy that his name is Jose Rivas. I think that's his name. He lives in Japan, and he's from the LA, from East LA.
Okay. He's a military?
No, he's a translator.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he translates our podcast in Japanese to his students.
Wow.
So the students get a little bit of the history of LA.
So, dude, that's hot.
So they're over there.
That's
hot. There's we send him merch. He buys merch, and this is Japanese girl who wears our What's Up Fool.
Oh, that's
she
dope.
She has no idea who we are, but she wears
dope.
it.
I like that. That's dope.
Japanese, man, I mean, they love American culture. Yeah. It's all good. But you know what they love more? They love the Latino culture.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah.
They love the hip-hop culture.
Yeah.
They love the whole lowrider scene.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, you ever go on YouTube or wherever you're on someone's page and you see somebody, then you see that motherfucker again, another photo.
Yeah.
Then you see this photo, but you don't know him.
Right.
But you're wondering why all these fools know him, but you don't know him.
Right.
And you start digging around, researching.
You do the research.
Then you're there 2 hours looking for the fool up. You don't never met him.
Yeah, you're on an internet journey.
So I follow this guy who I was seeing like in photos, right? And I'll see him in old school photos, like rapping. Then I saw him with nowadays with Sons of Anarchy. But I went through the whole list of watching this dude. Who the fuck is this guy?
You watched his transition.
Yes.
His growth.
And I went all the way back to the late 90s.
Wow.
Some guy, and he had a tattooed face. He's a Raider fan. He has a tattooed face. He has a big old harbor area tattoo on his stomach. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, like, I'm already thinking, this guy's a crazy-ass thug, right? Or from somewhere. And he's been on some movies. But he's like, he wears old school gangster, like with a zoot suit.
Right.
And then he has a Japanese lady.
Oh, wow.
And I was wondering, how the fuck did he have a Japanese lady beat this gangster from Harbor City, Wilmington? His name was MC. First of all, I found out his name was MC Pancho.
MC Pancho. What up, MC Pancho?
I went to another interview, and I saw a whole interview about him. I'm going to invite him to my podcast. I never met him.
Dig it.
But I learned everything about him. And I'm glad that I used to be quick to judge people, because I'm from the hood,
right.
And I know when somebody's a loser. But I saw him and said, no, man, this guy is like eccentric. There's something about him, or else he wouldn't be here. And he hosted the tattoo convention in Denver.
Really?
With some hot chick with a lot of tattoos. Those beautiful girl tattoos.
Yeah,
she has 700,000 followers. This guy only has 2,000 followers on Instagram, but he gets to coast that shit.
Yeah, she.
That means he has street cred somewhere.
Yeah, somebody was like, we got to get Pancho, MC Pancho.
So I thought, okay, this guy has to make all his money selling drugs. I'm already stereotyping this guy.
Right.
And I looked him up. No, this guy is the most humblest, realest, nicest person you can ever meet. And he's telling me the story. I feel like he's telling me this story, but he's not telling me. He's telling the whole world.
Right.
He said that he started making cassettes in the 90s and was giving them out because he couldn't sell them mixtapes.
Okay.
Like MC Hammer, selling them out of his car. And he was selling them. Didn't really make that much money selling them, but he always had a job. He said that his album made it to Japan. They were selling his cassettes for $5,000.
Are you kidding me?
He sold 5,000 copies at $50 each.
Dude.
Never got a money from it. These Japanese guys bootlegged it, and they sold 5,000 copies for $50 each. But so now they're searching for him, like searching for Sugar Man.
Right. Sugar Man,
Sugar Man,
come back, 'cause I'm tired of this scene.
That guy.
Yeah.
So they searched him.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, Rodriguez, and then they flew him out to. He don't know who the big star in that little ass town in Japan, little town, and he's taking photos of everybody. He's like Danny Trejo over there.
Wow.
But,
dude, that's crazy.
And I found it out in 2 hours, just searching him.
And this all happened just because you kept noticing his face.
Yes.
On different posts. And so you're like, who's this guy?
And long story short, he's just a longshoreman from the harbor area, San Pedro, working there 26 years.
Dang.
He goes, and he was hit a rough pass when he was under 20. When 21, got a job as a longshoreman, union man. Everything he's had, he bought from his job. He didn't get no money from movies, no money from those albums. Self-made guy.
There you go.
Give me the chills, man. Like, yeah, man, this is a cool guy.
He sounds like a cool kid. I love the fact that you stumbled upon him.
Yes.
It wasn't it wasn't like you were saying, yo, who can we interview on my show? You were just curiosity, and I think that's the power of the internet that people don't people do utilize it, but because the internet is used for evil or just used for bad purposes so often. I mean, even something as simple as just like internet porn. Like, think about how many times you go into internet porn, you're like, man, I should be doing something more productive, but you're like, but interracial whatever.
I don't jerk off in the daytime.
No.
Then you have all day to kill.
It's funny. My dude Harris that just called. He actually allots himself a time of the day. There've been times where I'll call. He doesn't mind me saying this, which is why I can say it. But I'll call him. He's like, "Hey man, you interrupted my session. It's my moment." I'm like, "Oh my bad. Hit me back. In an hour after you find just the right scene or what have you." But it's nice that you used it for something good, something positive. To find out something positive that might have not only inspired you, and gave you chills, but also your listeners and the people that support your podcast.
It's crazy because then the girl he's dating, I think he met her in Japan.
Oh, when you said that, I was like, oh, okay, well, it made sense.
And she dresses like, there's photos of him with a bunch of Japanese. And those Japanese look like they were raised here in Pico Union, the Valley. They look straight thug.
Because they love
the lifestyle.
They love the
blood
style.
in, blood out, man.
Right. Oh, wow. You just
That's
took
the
me
shit
back.
right there.
Yeah.
We had on our show, we had Miklo.
Did you really? From Blood in, Blood Out?
Found that motherfucker somewhere.
Is he still acting?
He's still acting.
Okay.
He's big. You know, like some actors are big in other countries. He's big in Germany.
Okay. Wow. It's amazing. What's amazing about entertainment, man, is you never know, especially now with the internet. Excuse me. You never know who's peeping, who's checking you out.
Who's checking you out? Huh?
I'm always amazed when I have, people, hit me up, from HK, from Hong Kong. We have a listener supporter, Alyssa, and she checks out. I'm like, really, Alan? You listen to this? But I love it. I appreciate when people reach out, because you don't know. People, like you said, people will stumble upon you. That's the one thing I miss about having my afro is I know when my hair was big, it stood out. You know, because like you said, it was when someone, the same with your look. You know, you have a lot of hair. You have an interesting style. You know, and coming up the way I came up. You had the more your swag was based on your originality. You know, that's what's missing, I think, in entertainment, specifically hip hop and pop music today. Is everyone sort of is cookie cutter. Even like a lot of the rappers. A lot of rappers all look exactly the same.
When they sound the same too.
Sound exactly.
Got a lot of enemies.
Yeah.
Got a lot of enemies.
Yeah, dude. It's like we get it.
We know you got enemies.
People don't like you. We get it. All right, move on.
Everybody's hating.
Right. You know, and so
you're stacking chips.
You're stacking cheddar, stacking chips.
I like them. I trip out when the rappers like they're just hanging out of their house, and so a lot of these guys are unknown. Those are the guys I follow too.
Yeah.
I find a rapper, like I don't know who he is, but I follow him, and then they're inside their car with stacked up money,
right?
And I'm like, I'm watching this like this is 2016,
bro.
I'm thinking, is the bank giving out that much cash nowadays?
Right.
Because you walk into a bank, you should have closed your account. They're not going to give you no cash.
Right.
They're going to give you a check.
Yeah.
Walk out of this.
You go to the check cash and place it.
I mean, who's cashing all these checks?
Who's cashing?
Who's paying these rappers in cash?
That's funny. Promoters that try to clean their money.
Oh, man.
Clean their
Because I
dope
know
money.
that I saw a movie once with Little Richard, and he was one cat that used to get paid in cash back in the days.
Yeah.
And I remember in the movie, I was told I could just picture that movie right away, man, because I wanted to be there. Little Richard had just got paid, and he's paying everybody off, and he opens up his briefcase, and he's getting fucked up, and he's taking money out of the briefcase and paying everybody off. Then he sees a young white couple, and then he starts to make out with her. So then they start making out. Man, the fucking orgy starts right after.
Oh, wow.
And the whole time he has the money right there. And I'm thinking, how easy it is to rob these people.
Yeah. That's I remember. I think Chuck Berry also. Like a lot of those cats back in the days, man. Because which I guess makes sense because a lot of them probably didn't have bank accounts. You know, especially if they were black or color, they didn't have the access to the bank.
Yeah,
so
man.
they're like, here, I'm taking that money, which is now like a wives' tale where they get the money and put it under the mattress. I ain't gonna front. I sometimes like this is my merch. When I sell my T-shirts, if whatever I sell cash, I put the guard in my head is like, nah, you can't tell people exactly where you put. But if I make a couple $100 selling T-shirts, I don't always deposit that money. That's fun money, you know. That's the money. Or I'll go re-up and get some more shirts, and then take some addition and stash it like in a sock or something. You know.
Did you ever stash money in your house even though you were living alone?
Yeah, bro. Let me tell you something. There's nothing better than you ever stumble upon some money. I think that there's something wonderful about. Look, I love. Like especially in the winter, especially in New York, because you're running through a couple of different winter coats, and so I love to just like sometimes like if I go to grab like say just food at a restaurant, and I pay cash. Say the bill is say $60, and the bill is like $45, but I want to leave something, so I'll give like $60. Take a tip. I'll take that $5 or $10 and just dump it in my pocket. But I do that, and it accumulates. So then by the following year, if I'm just like walking around, I reach in and have like $40 in my pocket. I'm like, oh, every so often I'll just say, here, you know what? Here, just stash like $20, $30 here. That's old school, I guess. That's real old school.
When I was watching that Snoop Dogg when Snoop Dogg had his family show on MTV,
the reality joint. Yeah.
And his son was playing in the closet, and he grabbed one of his coats, and he was trying to be Snoop outside the house, and he put in his pocket. It was $10,000. Stacked up.
Wow.
And he got in trouble, of course.
I was gonna say, yeah, shoot. Oh no, you can't do that, little homie. You got to stay out of daddy's pockets. Ooh,
I like to reach that level, man, when I forget $10,000 in my pocket.
I remember. I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better. I remember, I think it was D-Ray. Somebody was saying they were hanging out at Eddie Murphy's crib. And if I get this right, we were at Eddie's crib, and it was like an envelope, a DreamWorks envelope, and D-Ray or whomever was like, "Yeah, what's that?" And it was like, it's just it's just a residual. It was like, either a couple 100,000 or a million, just a 6-figure check just sitting, and it was nothing. He was like, "Oh yeah, that's check. I'll get that deposit." If you or I get a check for $1,000, you're immediately, I'm like, here, let me make sure I go to the bank and put, because my fear is always that's the day that there's going to be a fire in the house and the check is going to get burnt up, and I'm never going to be able to retrieve that check because SAG's going to be like, oh no, we have to go through a procedure, and you have to. So I'm real paranoid, and that's coming from being broke.
Man, I remember before Jamie Masada used to give me Friday and Saturday shows at the Laugh Factory.
Hey, buddy.
I'll be there on Saturday because I had a show down the street. I'll be there on Saturday where all the big comics are coming in. They say, "Hey, what's up, Felipe? You're in the show?" Nah, I'm in a fucking show, man. I'm here to get my $60 from the box office.
Yeah. I did that last night, as a matter of fact. But both Ian Edwards and I, we were doing. He had a spot at the Soho House. Sarah Mello, shout out to Mello. She's doing a show at the Soho House every Tuesday, and we on our way from the Soho House. Ian, there was some agent was having a party. His cat Andy was having a party. CAA cat. At the Den, I think. The Den on Sunset. So on our way, I said to Ian, I said, "Yo, you know what? Swing by the factory because I have probably like 6-7 checks there from last time I was out here, but I think that they expired."
Oh man,
they expired. That always bugs me.
A month later.
Yeah. Like you got to pick up your checks quickly, and I haven't been out here since what are we in October? I was out here I think in March, April, and so I kind of knew that the checks weren't going to be there, but I was like, maybe I try and maybe I catch that because I think they expire after like there's 180 days,
yes.
6 month joint. So I just missed it. Oh well.
Do you ever go through the Laugh Factory checks when they give you the little box and you start looking at all the other celebrities?
Right.
These motherfuckers are gonna pick up these checks. I'll take it.
Yeah. I'm like,
these are stack of them like John. Like that dude, what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Who, Lovitz?
No, not John Lovitz and the other guy. The one that goes, "You can do it."
Oh, you can do. Oh, damn.
John Schneider.
Yeah, Schneider.
He had checks in there, and I'm like, man, these guys don't give a fuck.
They don't care.
Here, I'm waiting to get the check with another comedian right here.
Yeah, in line. Just wait for your check, son. So that's a perfect transition. So when did you? I do my research, and I know there were like 5 things you want to do before you die.
Yeah.
Be happy and be a stand-up comic. When did you decide? When did you have that conversation with yourself that made you decide you wanted to become a stand-up man?
Oh, I was like 22.
Okay.
And it was like I was in a rehab.
Okay.
And our rehab was non-denomination. Mm-hmm. So you could be Muslim or Jewish or non-religious to be in our show, our rehab. But you have to attend the meetings, though.
So hold up. So real quick, this is new news to me. I didn't realize that certain rehab facilities are based on whatever your denomination is.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I did not.
Most of them are Christian. Okay. But our place was called Live Again Recovery Home in Saugus.
Okay.
Pastor Juan.
Okay.
Now that guy has a story, man. Because like everybody will come in for being drug dealers or being a drug addict, heroin addicts, meth addicts. And the pastor was a bank robber.
Oh, wow. Damn. Pastor Juan was getting it in.
Yeah, man. He was a heroin addict. He robbed every bank in Fresno, Madera County.
Dude. Wow.
And like in the 70s, bro, he robbed all of them. And he was being chased by the FBI. He did time in Leavenworth, Kansas.
Damn.
And he escaped.
He escaped?
Well, he got released on a computer error. Like the A-Team. Dun, 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 dun.
I ain't going to play in Hannibal.
No, he said he got released from county jail on a computer error, And as soon as they said, you're out, he took off. And he ran from the law for 10 years. He said he got stopped by a border patrol and left that fool naked in the desert and took off with his car and drove it to Mexico.
Wow.
And then 10 years afterwards, he was helping, he sobered up in Mexico, opened up a rehab in Mexico and helped addicts. Then when he went back to LA, he was still living under another name. And then he just said, fuck this. I can't live like a lie.
Right.
I'm going to turn myself in.
Oh, wow.
And he turns himself in, and the judge asked him, what the hell you been doing for the last 10 years? And he gave him the whole story, I'm telling you, and she gave him time served.
Wow. So good for him, because he it's interesting how the burden of the lie, the burden of the guilt, made him say, man, this is, I'm helping people get their life right.
I ain't right.
I'm not right. So let me just go. And it was a blessing in disguise, because it actually it worked his benefit that he cleared. The judge cleared his plate. Wow, that's cool. Okay. So you're in rehab. Is this your first time in rehab?
Yeah, I've only been to rehab once.
Okay.
It was I was there from, I don't know when I came in there, July, and I was there for a whole year, and I got out the next year, a year and a half later in December.
Now you know what this.
Living there too.
Yeah, no. Pardon my ignorance, because I've fortunately I never had an addiction that had me have to experience or understand what rehab was, and for also the listeners out there that might not know. So I always wondered, when you're in rehab, are you functioning in society with a normal 9-to-5 job, or is life really just about them helping you rehabilitate yourself out of your addiction, and therefore you don't have any other type of vocation that you're focusing on?
No, the rehab that I was in, it was in-house, so I have to sleep there, and I can't leave. Well, I could leave. I could walk away anytime I want.
Right.
But I didn't want to leave.
Okay.
I had this fear, if I leave, I'm gonna die.
Okay.
And I don't know if they put that fear on us, but most of the people that would leave, they end up going to be using drugs immediately. I remember talking to this guy, and I didn't talk him out of staying. I didn't talk him out about leaving. He said, man, Felipe, I gotta go. I'm leaving right now. And I said, well, go pack up your bags. And look, you're not gonna talk me out of it? No, man, you want to leave. It's up to your problem, man.
Right.
Now it was your decision, and I'm not gonna force you to stay here.
Right.
But you know what's out there. I'm not going to tell you what's out there.
Yeah.
And they would leave. But I never left because I was afraid I was going to I was going to die out there, because I already had beat someone up.
Oh, okay.
So I just needed to get away from violence.
Right.
So when I was in there, I was like a crackhead. But most of the people that were there, I guess crack was new. At the time, I was going in for a crack. Now it's meth. But most of the people there were heroin addicts. And then, it's funny when you're like, well, my drug was stronger than yours.
Right. It's like, that's like black people and Jews trying to prove who suffered more. So it's the same with drugs, which I didn't realize that heroin addicts are like, nah, that crack ain't nothing. You got this heroin.
Yeah, man. No matter be like, you were just a pincushion, man.
Dig it. Wow.
But it was funny to watch, because crackheads, when they come into recovery, it's just depressing, man, because you've been doing drugs and hiding your problems for a year, 2 years. So you never had a chance to see the world as it is, without running from it. So crackheads, they cry a lot. They get depressed. They want to kill each other. It's just a constant battle in your head. Like, it's just living with total regret every single day.
So crack was your choice, was your poison. Had you tried other drugs? Like I'm always, because you and I are pretty much off age, and did you start crack when crack first hit in the 80s, or were you late to the crack party? And if so, what made you say, I'm not going to get addicted like every other crackhead that I've ever seen? You know what I mean? Because that's most people that don't smoke, like the thought in our heads is like, how are there new crackheads when crack is batting 1,000? You know what I mean? Nobody smokes crack and win. You know what I mean? So what made you say, you know what, I got this?
Nothing, man. I didn't tell myself nothing like that. Like I didn't say I was gonna quit or I'm not gonna get addicted.
How'd you start? Yeah.
I was sad.
Okay.
We had just dropped acid tabs like 3 nights ago, and we were all wired up. We were walking around the housing projects. You know, man. Like it's the projects could be dangerous if you're not from the projects.
From the projects, yeah.
But if you're in it. You're in it to win it.
Right.
Everybody knows you.
Everybody knows you.
Everybody knows you.
Right.
Everybody's watching your back. Even if there's the gang there, even if you're not part of the gang, you're part of the gang.
Right.
Because everybody in that neighborhood is part of the neighborhood.
Fam, right.
Because even if you're not in the gang, they just ask you, where you from? From Aliso Village. Oh, man, you're one of those Crips? No. Right. Oh, you one of those other Mexican gangsters? No. You're one of them.
Right.
You know, so. And I got hooked right away. Because my brother was already hooked. He was doing crack. But then my brother got shot by the police. And we were all depressed. It was like the mood in my neighborhood when my brother got shot and my other 2 friends were killed by the police. It was like the mood New York felt in 9/11.
Okay.
Where you lost somebody big.
Yeah.
And we're all cool with each other. We were hugging each other.
It was like a haze.
Writing R.I.P. on the walls
Right.
for our friend. Never forget our friends.
Right.
And even the Korean guy from the liquor store who's selling us 40 ounces our whole lives, he felt bad that my brother got shot.
Oh, wow.
We were over there buying beer to get fucked up, and he gave me a big hug, and he walked me to the back of the store, and he gave me 2 cases of beer.
Oh,
And he said, don't worry about it. Kill yourself.
right. I'm like, because on the one hand, wow, that's generous, but we're like, you're just helping enable.
I'm not even going to card you like I never do.
That was his version of a Hallmark moment. Holy, yo.
You know, it's funny, man. My goals when I was 15 is to be like this. I'll say his name, man. He's still alive, man, but I'm pretty sure you want to hear this podcast.
Right.
There used to be this guy named Bungie, this brother, man, and he was cool, bro. He was cool. I don't know if he was a blood or he was in the Mexican gang. Either this guy was crazy. He claimed both.
Oh, wow. Okay.
4th Street.
He got range.
Yes, man. He was the kind of dad you want, you know, and the kind of gangster you want. But if he's not your friend, you don't want him.
Well, what would you say?
Because this guy had
wants you.
Like I would watch him work, man, and I say, man, I'm gonna do everything he did. There was a liquor store, the same liquor store where that guy gave me my free beer. Well, remember I told you there's a lot of warehouses. They get paid on Friday.
Okay.
They would get paid. They would cash their checks at our liquor store.
Right.
But it was our liquor store.
Yeah.
Charlie's, and then on First and Boyle, and First and Glen Street.
Okay.
He would wait right there. Imagine you're cashing your check, and then this big old thug just watching you cash your check right there. Who's standing there?
Right.
He ain't buying nothing.
Right.
He's just standing on the other side.
Everybody.
He's standing by the candy, and you're cashing your check, and he's standing right there with a tank top, big. He's wearing one of those old school gangster hats. I know you remember.
Oh, like
man.
a fedora type joint?
Nah, man, with a corduroy hat with the 2 golf clubs.
Nah, I don't remember that.
It was a corduroy gangster hat, and it had just 2 golf clubs on it.
I remember the logo seems familiar.
Probably Neiman Marcus. I don't know what it was.
Okay.
And he's standing there. Just say this
he got
guy's
the Lokes on. He got Lokes. Yeah, he got
Lokes, and then his cornrows are in rollers.
So he was thorough.
Big rollers.
Yeah.
And he's standing right there, and just some regular Joe's cashing his check, $270. That fool's asking for $30.
Dig it. And they gave it.
I mean, I don't know how they gave it, but some of them gave it.
Of course. You got this big dude sitting there just watching them. They're like, do I give him 30 or does he take the full 217 around the corner?
And then the Asian guys are getting mad. No, Banja! He knows how to say Bungie. Banja! Banja, no! Banja! Clocked that fool.
Right, yeah.
He knocked that fool out, dog. Then the cops show up, and I'm there like picking up the little change that fell and put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
When I'm putting my change in, the stupid ass housing authority police, because we have the projects back then had their own police.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, they still in New York. Yeah.
And it's funny, like we knew those fools got off work at 4, and then the real criminals would come out.
Right.
So man, those guys came in there, didn't even give a fuck who did it. Bungie was gone, his homies were gone. It was only the little kids, the next generation right there.
Right.
We were like the runts, like City of God.
Yeah,
the little kids.
Yeah.
And the cop he went.
Oh damn!
And he pointed a shotgun inside the store, and he just pointed. Both of them pointed inside the store.
Damn.
I don't know who called and said there was an armed robbery. There was no armed robbery.
Right.
Strong arm.
Right.
And I was like, I was watching that, and then every time a truck, just say a truck, like a Coca-Cola truck or a Budweiser truck or any kind of Budweiser truck will come in and deliver alcohol to that liquor store, they will get robbed. Damn. Like someone will open up the cases and run off with a beer, and that happened all the time, man.
Yeah.
Like our neighborhood wasn't the type of neighborhood to start a business.
Right, no. Because you weren't going to get the local love in the way you wanted it.
So those were my heroes. Then there was another guy named Wolf, and this guy, man, was one of those Mexican gangsters, man, that was crazy. Like, you know, some people have a silver tooth. I don't know how this guy did it, but he had a red ruby in one of his teeth.
I always wondered how they got it embedded into the tooth like that.
This guy was name was Wolf. I think he's long gone, but he was one of those. He was buff, man, just like Bungie, buff. And this guy, man, I saw him fight one of those police authority cops that just stopped him and they said, "Wolf." He goes, "How the fuck you know me by Wolf?" Like right away, like, who told you my name is Wolf?
Right.
And the guy tried to stop him, and then I just saw him like grab the police officer by the chest and started pounding his face. And then his homies came in and started bashing up the car. And then, see, when you live in the housing projects, a lot of people were not that violent. They were not involved in that situation, but they were affected by it. Like all the cops will show up and they will put our neighborhood on lockdown. Right. And then like nobody can go outside their homes while the police scatter the whole neighborhood. Like they were like the cops, the LAPD was line up 11 deep and start from the back of the projects, 6th Street, and walk all the way to 1st Street.
Just walk the entire perimeter.
Scare the whole world.
Yeah.
And everybody go in their house. But by the time they made it to the other side, everybody was gone already.
Right. Everybody cleared out.
Woo woo!
Right. Po. So wow. That's because I want to break this into two episodes instead of doing just one long one. And we stopped at. So when did you start smoking? When would you say? Because obviously you were doing other drugs, but they sort of acted as a gateway. But crack became the one that really affected you heavily. Yeah. And around what age were you?
I was like 19, man.
19. Okay.
Put it this way, man. I was the kind of guy, man, you can't tell fuck off in person because I would knock your ass out.
Wow.
And then this asshole.
And you're such a sweet guy.
Yeah,
you know,
and then
that's what
this asshole from the LA Podcast Festival told me to fuck off on Instagram. Just because I told him his podcast was all white. And it was all white. It was all fucking white. And he told me to fuck off. Bro, I was going to fuck him up, bro.
Yeah, see.
Then I found out how small and weak he is.
Right.
Fuck this motherfucker. Told me to fuck off. Because I know that bitch from the Dala, whatever podcast he is, he would never tell me that shit in person. I don't think he'll tell anyone to fuck off in person. Right. And if you're listening right now, motherfucker, I hope I never see your ass.
Right. Yeah, and that's
fuck your apology. Apology me in person, man. Grow some fucking balls.
If you
and then my comment was fucking deleted.
Oh, really?
When I told him, why you telling me to fuck off? It was deleted. And his fucking fuck off stood there for about a whole week. Fuck that motherfucker, dog.
Yeah, man. People
act tough, man, on the internet. Yeah. Like I would never tell someone to fuck off. Right. Even if they're smaller.
Well, because you have Buncho. You got to respect people.
I respect people.
Yeah, man.
Like, I'll call you out, but don't tell me to fuck off.
And there's a difference between, because you called them out on something that was honest. That was a true
Your
fact.
podcast, LA Podcast, you fag, was all white.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like, a Latino guy. Because see what it is, man? is that like when a bunch of white people are hanging out together, they're used to that. They're used to seeing all white. That's why white comics don't step into a black night or a Latino night because that's not their vibe, right? They don't know that. But as a Latino comic, we go everywhere.
Or a black comic.
Or a black
or a comic, any comic of color.
We go everywhere.
Well, and the reason, and this to inform and not necessarily to offend, people have to understand the majority of. I remember someone said to me recently. They said, you have to understand, like everybody I just want to be American, but you all created the term African American. When people think American, they just think automatically, well, that's a white American. And if you're other type of American, there's a hyphen. You're a hyphenate, so you're African American, you're Latino American, you're Asian American. We didn't create that. Y'all created that. So the same thing with say the comedy club scene or any scene. If the majority of my life, any space I go into, I know how to find comfort in that, comfort in my own skin, being myself in whatever space I'm in, because the majority of places you go to, the majority of places I go to are majority white, are majority Caucasian, versus refried Fridays at the Improv or wherever, where they have the Latin night. And now you might have, I always respected Billy Burr. Bill Burr to look, this weird saying it in the studios, right? But what I always dug about Billy was, and the reason Billy is so successful and he could now be Bill and not Billy, is because he always would go into any space in New York City and do him. He didn't change his set. He didn't change his style. He didn't pander to here I'm the white guy in a black club, so I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna dance and get people like, oh, go white boy, because
I'm gonna do jokes about student loans.
Right. He just did his act. You know what I mean? Just like when I would go into a black room or mainstream room, I would just do my act. So the cat, I have no idea who you're talking about, but I'm offended at somebody that's coming at you for just saying, hey man, what's up with some
your
diversity?
Podcast all white, dog.
Yes.
And you're in LA, homie.
Right, there's a lot
Represent
of
LA.
There are a lot of other people.
I know, man. And most of
LA.
these fuckers not even from LA.
Right, of course.
They had a guy from Australia.
Right.
What the fuck?
Right. Yeah. So it just got heated. That's why I love this cat,
This
man.
is my city, dog.
Yeah, dude. Just pay respect.
Pay respect.
Pay respects. That's
just
all.
like if I would go to Boston, I would look for a Boston comic,
right.
Like David. I forgot his name. Brunger, whatever his name is.
Right, but you show respect not only for the city but also for everybody that's been there. Prior to you being there, by saying, let's get some cats that are from out here, so that we can expand. Diversity, in my opinion, diversity is wonderful because it opens up your palette as well as the people that are around your palette. So like you being on my podcast doesn't hurt me. It only opens up my listeners and supporters and fam to what you do in your story, and vice versa. Me being on your podcast is just gonna make people say, yo, that dude Dean Edwards, I gotta check this dude out. You know what I mean? And that's called reciprocity. That's how the world's supposed to work.
Yes.
Versus being in this vacuum.
Like when I did Jay Larson.
Yeah.
I did the
craft feast.
Oh, yeah. Man, I got a bunch of people. Oh, Felipe. A bunch of people from their listeners listening to me now.
Yeah.
When I did the Burt Kreischer,
right,
they followed me. Oh, this guy's an OG.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Everybody's saying, wow, he's the most realest guy you ever had.
Dude.
And I did Jay Moore stories. Mm-hmm. The champs. I did that shit twice.
Right.
I didn't think I could do it twice. I thought I lost all my energy on the first one.
Nah, but you got a lot, man. You actually reminiscent of it's funny we were talking about Tracy, because you and Tracy y'all both got stories for days. That's what's entertaining. People
man,
like
you. That good, man.
That's my man. 50 grand. We go back like Spinal Cords and 8 tracks. We talking. Hey, listen, man. Look, I like I said, we gonna do 2 episodes, and then I'm I'm gonna do Felipe's podcast. So you know what? We're gonna wrap up the part 1 of this episode, man. We're gonna wrap up part 1. Felipe, where can people find you on the internets?
On FelipesWorld.com.
Okay, FelipesWorld.com. They can get all your social media.
FelipesWorld.com.
Okay, and as always, y'all know me, man. Shoot, I am Dean Edwards on all things social media. Just follow at I am Dean Edwards, cause that's who the funk I am. You know, y'all stay tuned for next week. We gonna have part 2 because I meant to mention at the beginning of the episode, man. This is the first time we've had a winner of Last Comic Standing rocking out with us in the living room on the Futhamuckin Protocol. So y'all make sure y'all keep listening, keep supporting, keep commenting, and we'll keep bringing you that flavor. Felipe Esparza, thanks for hanging out on this episode, homie. We got you next week, y'all.
What's up, fool?
And y'all make sure y'all check out me on What's Up, Fool. I don't know how
Friday.
soon. This Friday. So
when
y'all
yours come out?
I'm out. You know what? I guess this will it'll be it's up already because I'm dropping this on Monday. I drop my joints on Monday. So y'all check me out on What's Up, Fool immediately. All love is your man Dean Edwards. 2 fingers. Busy.
You know who was real